What's going on, Wiser Shifters? Welcome back to another video. I want to talk to you guys about something that's been on my mind for a while now, but never have I taken the time to really talk about it. And what I'm talking about is buying land. I am in the process and on the journey of getting my own land, but one of the things that I want to encourage everybody who's watching this video, you clicked on this video because of the title or the thumbnail, but whatever the reason behind it, you here because you are interested on buying land. Now, I'm currently practicing and helping the Orlando gardener cultivate his garden and also the land that he owns. But one thing for sure is that while I was working in the garden, I was thinking to myself, like, for all the wiser shifters out there who's watching and supporting this channel, I encourage you to get some land if you are able, if you have the financial means to do so. Get up, start researching and get a real estate agent that specializes in purchasing land and have them help you with that. And if you are unable, at least make the plan to acquire land in the near future, like what I'm doing right now. Whatever your financial situation, make the necessary plan to acquire some land. And again, whatever your financial situation is right now, make the necessary plan to acquire some land. And I can guarantee you will thank me later on. All right. Now let's talk about why you should definitely think about getting some land if you don't have land already. Number one, land is non-renewable. That means we cannot make more of it, nor are we gonna get more of it. So what's here on earth is what's here, unless it get covered by water. And some of it is underwater already. But think about that. Land is non-renewable, so that means whatever's here, you gotta grab it, you gotta buy it. If you have to relocate or wherever land is cheap at, go ahead and make that purchase, because you never know, you might want to move in the future. So go and look at certain states where land is cheap and make that purchase and hold on to that property or that land, because that's something that's going to be a hot commodity in the near decades to come. Because if you think about it, population is growing, and number one thing that people are going to need is food. So if you look at a lot of this farmland, a few wealthy individuals buying land, right? One of them that you might be familiar with by the name of Bill Gates. He made a purchase of 200,000 plus acres of farmland, to be specific. And he is, I believe, one of the few wealthy individual who own and who has purchased farmland. Now, you got to ask yourself, what are the reasons behind these individuals who are wealthy making purchase of land? Land is a commodity that if you have any form of wealth, you know to invest in, because it's one of the quickest way to be rich if you think about it, real estate. So a lot of us are dealing with housing market where right now renting any type of apartment unit is expensive due to inflation and the current state the economy is in. And not only that, you look at buying houses. That's something that a lot of common folks like you and I is out of the picture. But if we plan wisely and really think about it, we can make that a reality. You just got to plan and make the necessary sacrifices, because the housing market is something that's going to continue to increase. If you think about it, people going to need places to live, like you and I. And if you're someone who is in the state of mind of renting, I want you to change that right now. That's not wise, or that's not wise at all. And I want you to shift your mind right now. As wiser shifters, shift your mind and become owner Because a lot of people gonna come with the negative statement of saying that, well, you never own anything here in this world or here in America. Yeah, I agree with you, but I rather buy a piece of property or a few acres of land and make a tax payment on a yearly basis versus paying for something, paying like $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And if you think about it, do you rather pay 300,000, not 300,000, but $300 dollars or $400 or $500, depending on the amount of acres that you have, that you own? Do you rather pay a few hundred dollars, or let's do this math real quick. Let's say on average, let's say the average rent, or let's say depending on where you live into, like major cities or states, yeah, you're gonna pay. But let's just for the sake of time, let's just take a just a common number. I'm gonna throw this out there just to do the math so you can get a picture or an idea. For a nice condo, or let's just say apartment, right? Let's go with apartment. A nice apartment with great amenities. You're looking at, let's just say 1,500, right? 1,500 a month, and you time that by 12. You're looking at $18,000 for that year, for 1 year, right? And let's just say you live in that apartment for 5. Well, let's better yet, some people be there longer. But for the sake of time, let's say 5 years. Let's time that by 5. That is $90,000 that you just threw down the drain. Yeah, you benefited because you live there, but you don't own it. In 5 years, that's $90,000 that you just gave to that property owner. And guess what? For that $90,000, let's think about this. Let's say you use $50K, right, to buy a few acres in a nice, decent location, right? If you were able to save that 90 grand instead of renting, right? Imagine that you were able to save that 90 grand, right? And because of that, you have 90 grand, and you make a purchase for $50K on some few acres, and $40,000 can get you you can use $10,000 to secure that property, right? And get certain things on that property. And maybe 20 grand, you can get you a nice mobile home. And you still got 10 grand to live off, or to get the just miscellaneous things so you can live on that property until you can figure a next step by buying maybe some solar panels and, you know, getting some just simple things so you can live on that land. And that's just the start. You can do it. But a lot of us are renting, and renting, you losing money. I like to say you flushing money down the drain. Another thing I want to talk to you about, why buying land is important. You are basically setting up your future, because the way things are going, the way things, the direction that things are moving, it's better to grow your own food. And if you have your own property or land, you can do that with no problem. And that's why I'm encouraging you to really consider buying land as soon as possible, if not in the near future, because you able to grow your own food, and growing your own food, that is something that's going to be beneficial to your health and to your family. Because imagine in the near future where things are being grown with things in there, when I'm talking about how, let's look at Bill Gates again. He is leading an alternative food, and when I say alternative food, I am talking about food that's being grown with things in it altered. I'm talking about genetically modified food. We're looking at foods being genetically modified, and you're going to be the end consumer that's going to consume that food. And we don't know the long-term effect that food going to have on our, in our body overall. So at the end of the day, you're going to be forced to eat whatever is on the market. And whatever is on the market is being produced, because a lot of farmers are doing what they call monocropping, where they grow one specific crop and they add a lot of pesticides to it, and it changed the food, and the food, the fruit or the vegetable, whatever, doesn't get the chance to grow completely and mature. So a lot of it is full of chemical that's been added to it to force it to grow for the market overall, and you're the end consumer that goes to whatever these big box stores and do a grocery shop and purchase these food and end up in your kitchen, and next thing you know, you eating them. So having your own land and property, you can grow and manage what you eat, and you know what you're eating. So that's something that you gotta really think about and consider. Another thing too I want to talk about is, if you decide to get your own land, it's a great investment, because you are creating or investing in generational wealth. If you think about it, you buy a piece of land for $50K, right? That land gonna double in profit, because over time it's something that's going to be needed for new housing developers who are looking to build and to rent to people like you and I, because population is growing, because a lot of us are in these cities, and a lot of developed areas are getting overpopulated and crowded, because we all want to be where the party at. When I say the party, I'm talking about modern convenience and the 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk to the next store or restaurant, just being, having that convenience. But true freedom is owning and being able to do for oneself, to being self-sufficient. So if you think about it, you are building generational wealth by owning and acquiring acres of land that you can definitely divide among your family members or your children, and you have a will or a overall having a trust, where this land can stay in the family for decades and generations to come. And that's something that you definitely should think about, because a lot of us are not. And I'm hoping that I am inspiring you today. And if you're finding value in this content, please like, subscribe this video, and share with someone that you love. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, if you know someone who in the mindset, share with them so they can maybe learn from this video and maybe encourage too also. And whether it's your spouse or someone that you're looking to do this together with, because the more heads together and the plans drawn and put together, you guys can build your own community, and you won't need outside influences. And guess what? You are in control of that. So I encourage everyone to get some property if they are able to, few acres. And if you're unable to do that now because of whatever stipulation or which is the main one is financial situations, but whatever you are able to do, now do it. Go ahead and get that land. Start on the process. If not, start planning. Build your credit so you can acquire some acres of land in the near future. The sooner, the better. But be wise. Get out of debt. Step number one for everybody who's watching right now: get out of debt. And if you're someone who have no discipline and can't manage your credit cards and your money and everything like that, I encourage you, go check out Dave Ramsey. Yes, go in the description below, and I'll put his information down there. If not, find somebody to hold you accountable and really work that plan it out, and really go for it and do it. Don't sit on your behind and thinking that things gonna be okay. The way the economy is right now, I'm not telling you to be fearful, but to plan. And I'm not telling you to be paranoid, but to be watchful. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what's coming down the pipeline. And number one thing, if you're truly part of this family, as a wiser shifter, you have to be wise and shift your mind and your body and soul for a better life through planning daily, because that's something that we do here on this channel. And if you're new here, please subscribe. And I thank you for watching this video. Please start making some planning, acquire some land. I love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Please, in the description and comment below, let's talk about it. Let's share some of our ideas, and let's help one another. Help me and let me help you also. I'll continue to make this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. See you guys in the next video. I'm out.